I'm Major Wilson from headquarters. You can't take this wagon train into the village.
Why not?
Lee has engaged our entire army at Gettysburg. The paid train is not to enter the village.
Yes, sir. Captain McComb? You're in charge. I'm going to reconnoiter up ahead. You stay here with the train. Don't move. Saunders, bring your men. Come with me.
They left us high and dry with a wagon load of money.
We could start a little poker game.
Poker with an army payroll? Not me.
Jim Stewart's raiding this flank. You better get out of here, Captain. Look!
Get those first two wagons down the road. We'll make a run for it with the pay wagon. Just as real to Jack Stewart if he got a hold of it.
Lucky we thought of burning that money.
We won't get anything. Major Ross will probably get a promotion.
He can have it. It's settled for a good bet.
I suppose you have an explanation for this, Captain?
Yes, sir. Enemy raiding party nearly captured us, but we managed to destroy the payroll.
You mean you deliberately set fire to it? Speak up, Captain.
Yes, sir. There it is, or was.
You had your orders and disobeyed them.
Our lines were broken at Gettysburg, I know that. If the enemy had got their hands on this money, they could have kept this war going forever.
Captain, we just learned that Lee is in retreat back to Virginia. We didn't lose the battle. We won it.
I left Captain McComb in charge. Told him not to move from his position. It seems that he took matters into his own hands and did, against Army regulations, burn $1 million of pay of the Union armies in the field.
Gentlemen of the court, we must admit the allegations. We have never denied the facts as presented here, nor that they were in violation of the Articles of War. But I ask you to consider the character and record of this officer. Captain McComb served under me, therefore I know whereof I speak. I realize that he was under orders not to move from his position. But gentlemen, an order is not a god, it is a guide.
This is a flagrant case of direct and willful disobedience of orders and regulations.
Captain Michael McComb is to be cashiered the service of the United States Army, forfeiting all pay and allowances now due. The findings and sentence of the court have been approved and will be duly executed by command of Major General Howard.
Thank you, Sergeant. The War Department can't reopen your case, Mike. I'm sorry, because I still don't think you had it coming.
Well, it's a hard, cruel world, isn't it, Major?
Well, I really want to work for you, Mike. I even saw the Adjutant General.
The Adjutant General, eh? Thanks.
I can't blame you for feeling bitter.
Bitter? I'm not bitter. I'm grateful for the lesson.
Lesson?
Yes, I didn't follow their rules, so they tossed me out. But I'll follow them from now on in. Except they're going to be my rules. In other words, if there's going to be any shoving around, next time I'll do it. Anyway, thanks, Major.
Well, good luck, Mike. Come on, boys. You'll lose.
This game is crooked. I want my money back. What do you got, only sixes and aces on those dice? Can't you make an 11? Where's Honest Harry? I want my money back.
Next man
You
shoots
Honest
dice.
Harry? Wait a minute. Now, somebody's going to get hurt here.
He's my friend. What do you think you're doing?
We'll show you. How would you like a nice wide crack in the skull with this?
I wouldn't like it.
A tulip. Now, you better start kicking up the dirt while you're still on your feet.
Rough exterior, but a heart of gold.
Yeah, hard and yellow.
Hey, Pistol,
Yeah?
can you still blow a bugle?
A what?
A bugle. Can you blow a bugle?
I guess I could if I had a bugle.
Go get one. Bugle up. Sound assembly.
Can they court-martial you twice?
Blow.
All right, line up. Brace it up. Attention, left face.
Now then, men, listen carefully. I have orders I want carried out immediately. This camp is a disgrace, and there's the cause of it over there, Honest Harry's. Gambling, crooked dice, bad liquor. You boys didn't lose your money, you were robbed. Attention, I'm going to put a stop to this. Go in there and give them a little of the old army boot. All right, men, break ranks. Double quick, let's go in and clear them out. You want to get hurt? Well, Well done, men. I'm proud of you. Now take these hoodlums and ride them out of town on a fence rail. Don't treat them too rough. Just barely kill them. Now, where is the tulip?
There he is, over there.
Oh.
He's out cold as a fish.
Well, take him and throw him in the river.
There's a new one on me.
Stand aside, son. I have a way with those things. Here. Thank you.
All right, boys.
There it is. There's the money those thieves stole from you. Hey, don't break up that gambling equipment. The provost marshal may need that for evidence. If provost gets through with it, we may just buy that in. What are you doing?
I'm getting back my muster and out pay.
Well, don't use your pockets. Here, use a barrel.
I'll get yours, too.
Pistol.
Yeah?
Got news for you. I think you've just gone into the gambling business.
Mike, we're in trouble. That bunch of crooked freight handlers attached our stuff.
What for?
Oh, some jacked up charge or other, but it's serious. A fella named Banjo Sweeney bought the writ of attachment, and he's trying to grab our equipment.
Forget it.
Cards.
I'm out.
Seizing of property on false attachments is an old dodge. Won't work in Missouri, but it's sure legal in Kansas.
That's right, mister. I want your bill of lading, McComb.
Just discussing you, Mr. Sweeney.
Well, there's nothing to discuss. Just give me the bill.
Oh, wait a minute. After all, if you're going to grab a man's equipment, I think the least you can do is to give him the benefit of a little conversation.
I didn't come here for conversation. Quit stalling.
I'm not stalling. Why don't you sit down and have a drink? We can settle.
I'll get the sheriff. He'll settle your hash.
Take one more step and I'll shoot you. In the back.
You don't take any chances, do you?
I never take chances. It's too risky.
Hey, Mr. Sweeney, I've been looking all over for you.
Serve the writ.
Oh, yeah.
That's McComb right there. With a gun.
Yeah. Well,
What's the matter, boys? Couldn't be that we've crossed the line into Missouri, could it?
that's right. I'm sorry, Mr. Sweeney.
You know, McComb, the way you held that gun on him, I really thought you'd shoot him in the back.
Here, pistol. Take care of the purser. See how stuff gets off first, eh? Your bet, I believe, Mr. Blake.
Drink, soldier?
Here's what we collected on deck for the boys.
Looks like they kept their hands in their pockets.
Didn't dare disturb the cabin passengers. They're mostly Yankees.
Give me that. I just love to see Yankees in their money part company. I've never seen a handsome gentleman who wasn't generous. Thank you.
Purser? Yes, sir? When we get to St. Joe, would you see that McComb's stuff gets off first?
I'll raise you 200.
I've had enough.
Oh, Miss Moore.
Don't get up, Mr. Chevigee. I'm just collecting money for the soldiers on deck. Would you mind?
Pleasure, ma'am.
Thank you.
Of course. Go away.
Go away before I shoot you. In the back. I'll call him.
I happen to be trying to help wounded soldiers. Now, would you care to contribute?
Your pardon, ma'am. I had no notion I was addressing a lady.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. Change.
Thank you.
Who's that?
That's Georgia Moore. She and her husband own the Silver River mines. Nice people.
Very nice.
And you're very generous, too, with my money.
I'd make that pot good if I were you. 3 aces.
I had no idea the frontier could boast such charming ladies. And speaking of charming ladies, what is this? Our stuff was supposed to go off first. Did you pay off the purser?
He wouldn't take anything. He was a northerner, too. You can't trust anybody.
Where's the fellow who owns those wagons?
He's over here.
Well, you keep an eye on the stuff.
Move the mowing line. Hustle up. Murphy, pull up that team.
Say, these wagons yours?
Yep. Sam Slade, that's me.
Like to hire some of them.
Sorry, mister. Can't be done.
Why not?
You're too late. The lady's got it.
Set those crates down easy. I didn't bring that machinery all the way out here for you to ruin it. All right, take the cable off.
Wagon boss is a bit tough. See what you can do with it.
Tie everything down tight. We're liable to run into rough weather.
Hello, Mrs. Moore. Or maybe you're Mrs. Moore's younger brother.
That's very funny. What do you want?
I want a little help. You remember me, don't you? I'm the man who so graciously contributed to your worthy cause. I'd like to get a copy of your wagons.
That's impossible.
Oh, just a minute. This is business. I need those wagons pretty bad. I'd like to make you an offer.
Sorry. The answer is no, Mr. whatever your name is.
McComb, ma'am. Mike McComb.
I need all I have and more. I've been trying to get this mining machinery to Silver City for 6 months. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. I just thought that out west here, everybody tried giving the other fellow a helping hand.
We also have a saying. What's mine is mine. I keep the wagons.
Pretty smart in those pants.
I'd look pretty silly without them.
But a couple of drinks ain't gonna hurt you.
Sorry, son. I got to stick in the job. I'll tell you what I will do, though.
What?
If you stick around, I might play a little game of horseshoes. Give them horses a smacking big feed. We're leaving the first thing in the morning.
Whose stuff are you hauling, Sam?
Belongs to the Moore Company, Silver River.
What do you charge a trip?
Plenty. But I ain't got room this trip to carry a humpback mouse.
He's got ethics. I offered him twice the price to carry our stuff instead. But he's got ethics.
Well, I like a man with ethics. You sure got away with those horseshoes.
That was $10 a game.
I know it. Fifth game you won in a row, isn't it?
I'm good at all kinds of games. That's my nature.
Hey, you ever play poker?
Poker? I said all kinds of games.
And I do therefore transfer to said Mike McComb all my wagons and freighting equipment in payment of the said sporting obligation. I think that'll do it. Stick your John Hancock here, Sam.
I should have stuck to horseshoes. Well, so long, mister.
Now, wait a minute, Sam. You're still my wagon boss, aren't you?
Yeah?
Well, how about getting that Moore stuff off my wagons, huh?
Mike, how can you do that?
Do what?
Take those wagons away from Mrs. Moore. She needs them.
Fiscal. Allow me to explain something that may be a guide to you in the future. From now on, I am interested only in the needs of one Michael J. McComb.
Have it your own way.
I will.
She's got an awful temper. I wouldn't want to tangle with her.
That's where you and I are different, pal.
Hey, what are you doing loading McComb's freight on my wagons?
These are our wagons now, lady.
Where's Slade?
He's over there on the dock. Get in your wagon.
Have you gone crazy, Sam Slade?
Maybe. I ain't sure yet.
Why are you doing all this?
Well, if it's all the same to you, Mrs. Moore, I held a bad hand last night. I'm doing what the new owner of this wagon outfit ordered.
What new owner?
You're looking right at him. All right, Sam, get him rolling. Can I be of any service, ma'am?
You cheap, double-crossing, ten-horn gambler. I'll have you strung up for stealing my outfit.
Why, now, Mrs. Moore, don't scare me like that. You want to do business with me, talk nice and sweet.
But I've got to get this machinery to Silver City. My husband's expecting it.
Then I'll be very glad to do your husband a favor and bring his little wife home.
With the machinery?
With love and kisses, but no machinery. I got no room. You want to ride or don't you?
No, thank you.
Maybe you're not so anxious to get home, huh?
Not if I have to go with you.
That kind of flattery will get you nowhere, Mrs. Moore. Well, if you're not going to ride with me, the stagecoach leaving in about a week. Adios.
Pass your wagons, Mrs. Moore. You'll be in Silver City first. Might even organize a little reception committee.
I have no further interest, Mr. McComb.
Certainly glad to see you again. We're having a little trouble here.
So I see.
I know you've got quite a load, but if you could take us into Silver City, I'd consider it a great favor.
Why, Mrs. Moore, having a pleasant journey?
Can you take us?
You bet.
How much is this going to cost us, McComb?
Mr. Sweeney, it's not going to cost you a nickel. You're staying right here.
Then he's going to have company. I'm not going.
You can't do this, Mrs. Moore. Why, it'll be 2 days before they get a new wheel out here.
I'd sooner ride with the devil.
He ain't with us this trip.
Oh, do come, Mrs. Moore. I insist.
Oh, come on, Mrs. Moore.
I'll catch up to you in Silver City.
Camping here tonight, Mr. Moore. Make my wagon your home, won't you? Certainly nice country, Charlie.
Yeah, and plenty of her.
Any Indians around here?
Shucks no, and not within 100 miles of here.
I like you better in skirts.
Sorry to disappoint you, McComb.
Where are you going?
To make my bed and get some sleep, if it's all right with you.
Sure, it's all right. But I had an uncle once, slept away from the wagons one night. In the morning, he woke up without his hair. Scalped.
Now, how would you know whether or not there are Indians out here? You've never been west before. Greenhorn.
Ain't you gonna sleep in the wagon?
No, you take it tonight. I'll bunk down here.
I'll go over and count the horses again and pick up a couple of blankets.
All right.
Please, Mrs. Moore, at least knock on the wheel. What sort of a man is your husband?
He's a gentleman.
Oh. Isn't that a shame? How long since you've seen him?
You ask a lot of questions, don't you?
You're the sort of woman a man asks questions about. Besides, I like the answers.
I thought you made up all your own answers.
It's awful wet down here.
Good.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Mrs. Moore. It was only Pistol. He didn't know you were there.
I'm sorry, mister. Are you hurt?
No, just bent a little.
Pistol, take these over to Mrs. Moore with my compliments.
She's gone.
Gone? How far can she get?
As far as your horse will take her.
Take him on down to the wagon yard, Sam.
You ain't aiming to settle in Silver City, are you, stranger?
Oh, I might. Why?
Well, if I was you, I'd keep moving.
Any particular reason?
You wouldn't like it here. Bad for your health.
Oh. Well, that's certainly very kind of you boys to be so considerate over a stranger. Here, call my horse, Sonny. All right, boys. Out you go.
Well, we
You're
were
too
just...
young for this game. Come on, here. Come back when you're old enough to shave.
Move over.
Hello, McComb. Open for business?
What kind?
Strictly on the level. Maybe you remember. I was figuring on a layout like this for myself.
Too bad your equipment didn't get here.
I was coming to that. McComb, you need a partner.
I do? Who do you suggest?
You're looking right at him. What do you say?
Ha! I'd say you better have a drink. Forget it. I don't need any partners.
Is there an undertaker in this town?
Your boys seem to be a bit rough. You wouldn't want them to get hurt, would you?
Nobody's going to get hurt. They're just celebrating our partnership.
Banjo, I seem to remember telling you once before, I never take chances. It's too risky. But maybe I do need a partner. A silent partner. When he comes to, tell him he's out of business. Now get him out of here. A glass of milk.
Primitive, but persuasive.
What?
Your method of settling a debate.
What are you selling? You sound like a lawyer.
I am a lawyer. Business is a little slow at the moment. It might surprise you, sir, to know that one of our great universities of learning once pronounced me its potential best. I am still potential.
Well, how about a potential drink?
Always. Ah, that's a gentleman's drink. Beck is my name, sir. John Plato Beck.
Thank you. McComb. Michael J. McComb. Your health, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Someone else here to see you, Mike.
Who's it?
I think you better make yourself scarce. This is personal. The lady's husband.
You're McComb? That's right. I'm Stanley Moore of the Silver River Mine. What can I do for you? My wife tells me you took over our freight wagons. Those wagons were neither hers nor yours. I bought and paid for them. Did she tell you that? Yes, she did. Can I offer you a drink? McComb, I'm in kind of a spot. To get my machinery, I need those wagons. Will you lend them to me? Lend them to you? Mr. Moore, I operate strictly on a cash basis. If you want to buy those wagons, they're for sale. How much do you want? Oh. 6,000. I haven't that kind of money on hand. Will you take shares in the Silver River Mine? $1 a share. What do you say, Your Honor? That stock worth anything?
Might be. It's a gamble.
Well, I'm a gambling man. I think you got a deal, Mr. Moore. Oh, you met my lawyer, Mr. Beck.
We've met. I have a client.
It looks like it. Have we got an office?
Just down the street, sir.
My hat. Let's go. All right.
Get rid of this. You'll just sign one of these blank forms, Mr. McComb. I'll make out the bill of sale for the wagons and give it to Mr. Moore in the morning.
All right. Here we are. Very pretty. I hope our little deal works out profitably for you. I hope so, Mr. Moore. Now, if you'll pardon me. Give my regards to Mrs. Moore, won't you? Yes, of course.
Interesting couple, the Moores.
Good-looking wife. He's to be envied.
You sound like a lonely man, Mr. McComb.
Man is only lonely when he depends on other people, Mr. Beck. I don't.
As a student of human nature, you excite my curiosity. Where'd you come from, and what are you looking for?
I'm looking for a lawyer who can mind his own business.
Sorry.
Gibbons decline and fall. I seem to remember a quotation from that. Let me see. No clash of arms, no matter of rebellion could pluck from his grasp what he had won.
Sound as if you knew it.
Oh, I read a book once.
Well, Caesar was ambitious. He lived by it. He died because of it.
A bad exchange, that, isn't it, Mr. Beck? Death for ambition. But, of course, there's an answer for that, too. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Of course, you've got to be lucky.
Even Caesar couldn't make his own luck.
Oh, Caesar didn't have bad luck. That was bad judgment. He trusted a friend. Remember? Brutus? Good night. Shouldn't have waited up, darling.
I couldn't sleep. He didn't give you the wagons. I knew it would be like that.
You got him all wrong, Georgia. We made a deal.
What kind of a deal?
A fair one.
He doesn't even know the meaning of the word.
I think you're being hard on him. He's just a businessman.
Stanley, you're not in Boston. You're in Silver City. The only dealing McComb knows is double dealing. What did you give him for the wagons?
It wasn't money.
Well, what then?
Some shares in the mine. Oh, I know he's a little smooth, but he's plenty smart, too.
Stanley, how many shares did you give him?
6,000. Don't worry. It'll be all right, darling. You'll see.
You remember me?
You bet I do. Sam, how are you? Still pitching horseshoes?
Some. But I ain't playing poker. Had a tough run of luck, Mr. McComb. Taking the party up country. But the trouble is,
I know. You need a stake, huh?
I thought that maybe...
Hey, Pistol, I guess we sort of owe you a favor anyway, Sam. Take care of him, will you? Good luck. This is getting monotonous, Plato. More and more of this paper every night.
That's true enough.
This voucher, good for $5 in cash when redeemed by the Blake Mining Company. Tell the dealers not to accept any more of this stuff. After tonight, I want gambling losses paid off in cash.
Oh, wait, the local merchants are accepting these vouchers.
Well, I'm not.
Aren't the mine owners going to redeem these things?
They'd like to.
What do you mean they'd like to?
I've gone over the whole problem with the mine owners, and believe me, it is a problem. They're forced to issue these vouchers because you and your gaming table have corralled all the money in the town.
Then let them get some more money. Haven't they heard there's a little thing called a mint in San Francisco?
You know, if there was a local bank, these vouchers could be redeemed.
I think I'll take a little ride in the morning and find out what goes on in this mining business. Good morning. Just thought I'd come up and take a look around.
You're poaching.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I'm a stockholder. Remember?
I remember a lot of things about you.
Good.
One is that I don't like you.
Going somewhere? I think I'll come along with you.
What do you think you're doing?
I'd like to do a business. Everything going smoothly at our mine, I hope?
Take it up with my husband. I'm going to see him now.
Oh, then in that case, we'll take our time.
Why don't you leave us alone?
Because I've met your husband.
Just what are you trying to say?
Just that I don't think you dislike me as much as you think you do. I think you're just scared.
You're a fool, McComb. You've got the wrong woman.
Glad to see you, McComb. Thanks. Make me feel like one of the family. I guess you're up here about the stock. Yeah, I'm not getting any returns. Well, you might as well know. You won't get any. With that smelter going up? I can't finish putting it up. About cleaned out. Sorry to hear that, Moore. Something about a losing investment I don't like.
You never take a chance, do you, McComb?
Not if I can help it. I know a lot of people that don't know what to do with a chance when they get it. I've got some more above ground, but no credit. If I have to, I might be able to sell out to a syndicate in San Francisco. Too bad to take such a loss. Why take it?
That's right, Stanley. McComb has plenty of money. If we get our smelter up now, the other mine owners have to come to us. Why not let him advance what we need?
That sounds like a very good idea. I might even consider it. For, shall we say, a third interest in Silver River properties?
You don't ask for much.
I don't know. The way things stand, I think maybe we better accept McComb's offer. Good. Then we'll all be partners.
Why don't you fellas get smart? The mine owners will never pay off in money as long as you keep taking their paper. So don't let them feed you that malarkey about the cash coming later. They'll keep you working for nothing. It's in the breed. And let me tell you another thing. Mike McComb's in with him.
That don't sound right, Banjo. Mike's a gambler.
What's Banjo Sweeney selling? Patent medicine?
Looks like trouble, Mike.
Bar that door. That one, too.
The mine owners are upstairs waiting for you.
Well, Silver City's most distinguished citizens, and Mrs. Moore. I had no idea there were to be ladies present.
I'm here as a mine owner, Mr. McComb.
We're not paying a social call. We're having trouble with the mines.
Ah, trouble, trouble, trouble. Indeed, we all have our troubles, do we not?
You're the cause of our troubles. You won't let the miners gamble unless they have cash.
You know we've been paying them off in paper.
Then pay them off in cash. Suit me better.
Well, the truth is there's no loose money around. Now, these gentlemen and this lady here thought maybe...
Maybe they'd better do less thinking and more mining. Anyway, why come to me?
Don't be a bunch of sheep. Go on in there and make them pay up.
I think I may have a possible solution. Some of you aren't going to like it, but it's going to be my way or not at all. I'll set up a bank. How's that for an idea, Plato?
He's right, gentlemen. He has all the cash, and he could guarantee the weekly payroll.
This is going to cost us something. What is it, Macomb?
Mrs. Moore, it's a hard, cruel world. Naturally, it's going to cost you something. I want a cut of stock from every mine in Silver City.
That's robbery.
Oh, no, that's business. Of course, there'd be an additional fee, say 10%, also payable in stock.
Plato, I'm proud of you. Sometimes I think you earn your salary.
Well, I suppose there's nothing else we can do.
You win, Macomb. You're in the banking business.
I'll go welcome my new depositors. All right, cool off, boys. I've just been having a little talk with the mine owners inside here, and they seem to think it'd be a good idea if I were to set up a bank. All right. I'll guarantee my bank will meet all the paper you hold and pay you off in cash. How is that? How you boys doing with those doors down there? Well, knock them down and come on in for a drink on the bank.
Put those bags on the table, then go back to the palace and get the rest of the stuff.
What do you think of it?
I like him better with two sleeves.
Meet my new tailor. Anyway, he once made a suit for the Prince of Wales.
Mike, with the money you're making, you can afford to get him ready-made.
Make him a new vest. Plato says I'm now a gentleman.
Going on the theory that clothes make the man. No offense, Mike.
Not bad.
Mr. Macomb, if you please.
Oh, sorry.
I don't understand it. First, you loan the money here at the bank. Then you win it back at the gambling tables across the street, put it back in the bank, then loan it out again. But are we making anything?
That's high finance, Pistol. Explain it to him.
He might not be so wrong. This system could backfire. Better think about it.
Don't you think I've thought about it already? We're not stopping here. We're expanding. Carson City, all over the state. First, I'm going to open gambling houses. After that, banks. People will like that, I think. Give them some place to put their money.
Right in our pockets.
Mr. Macomb will have no pockets unless he stands still.
This just come over the wire.
This isn't addressed to me.
Well, I thought you'd like to see it first.
Look who's coming, huh?
Hey, this will be the biggest thing ever happened to Silver City. Well, have we got his brand of whiskey?
Put some more ice in that punch bowl. It's all melted.
Don't worry, dear. Everything's going to be all right.
What difference does it make? The whole evening's spoiled anyway.
Oh, I'm sure the president will be here most any minute now.
I'd give $1,000 to get my hands on that Mike Macomb. You can just bet he's responsible for this.
I don't think it was very nice of him after all the trouble we went to.
He loves trouble, especially when he's making it.
Excuse me, Mrs. Moore, but I heard the president was over at Macomb's place.
Oh, that's perfect. Just perfect. You'll no doubt fleece him in a card game.
Darling, don't get so upset.
Oh, I'm so mad I could spit.
Now, Georgia, men will be men.
Macomb is not a man. He's a...
Mr. President, Mr. Shevegi, our host and the owner of the biggest mine in Silver City.
That interests me greatly.
Mr. President.
Mrs. Austin, Mrs. Harbord, Mrs.
Moore.
Ah, yes, of course. The head of our entertainment committee. And Mr. Moore. A pleasure, Mr. President.
Mr. Moore?
3 cheers for the President of the United States.
Hooray! 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 I appreciate the ovation. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, Mr. President, let me introduce you to the punch bowl. Charge, General?
Thank you.
How about some punch?
No.
McComb was an amazing man.
Pardon me, Mrs. Moore. I wonder if you could spare your husband for a moment. The boys would like to have you join us for a little talk more.
Georgie?
Of course.
There's 1 or 2 other matters, but you already know most of the story. I think you can tell the other gentlemen.
Do you have everything you want, General?
Everything but a dance with you, Mrs. Moore.
I wish all men were so easily pleased.
While we're in here talking, McComb is out there making policy with the president.
I hardly think the president came all the way out here just to patronize the punch bowl. You're entirely right, gentlemen. Shut that door. I can tell you it's no accident the President of the United States came to Silver City. Although his visit's unofficial, what he told me is of vital importance.
Well, if it was so important, why didn't he talk to all of us?
I imagine the President has a pretty fair idea who he wants to talk to. Besides, aren't we all in the mining business together?
McComb's right, gentlemen. Aside from personal feelings, we can't operate the mines without him. Let's hear what he has to say.
Very smart. Plato, you were there this afternoon. Get in the picture.
Well, as you all know, a first-rate nation is a nation with surplus international credits. Britain has her empire. Kimberley diamond mines, the silver of India, the gold of the Rand, and the tin of Malaya. Russia has the steppes of Siberia. Rich in 100 resources.
What about the gold of California, Oregon, Colorado?
True. The 49ers gave us the gold exchange, but gentlemen, that's not enough. The big strikes in gold are over. Do you know what we need now to make this country the great creditor of nations?
Silver. In simple language, gentlemen, here's the word from the President. You've got to produce more silver. Even if it means working the mines 24 hours a day. Digging faster, shipping faster, you've got to produce more silver. Up until now, of course, everybody's been digging silver to see how much of it they could stick away in their own pockets. Fine. But the picture's changed. Silver City has become more important than all of us. On what we do right here depends the very future of America. I visualize this territory around us here as the foundation of a vast empire. And if you're smart, it'll begin right here with the men in this room.
This country's rich in silver. We'll find new fields.
If we try, we'll double the silver output.
Depend on me. I thought you'd see it my way, gentlemen. Pardon me. Mine and the President's. Well, drop around to the bank tomorrow and we'll go into details.
So what else could we do? We burnt $1 million. What a fire. I had $35,000 with the ashes on my hat. And for that, they threw him out of the Army. That's gratitude. They threw you out once, didn't they?
No. Twice.
You got a pretty good job now, though.
Our dance, I believe, Mrs. Moore.
Yes, it has been nice.
Oh, you'd better. People might think you don't like me.
I didn't want to dance with you. Take me back, please.
Why, Mrs. Moore, I think you wanted me to ask you to dance.
You're aggressive, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
But like a child. First you want a circus all done up in gold braid, and then you want...
You.
I'm not interested.
May I offer you a toast, Mrs. Moore? To what we both really wanted. You seem to have spilt your drink. Lovely party, isn't it? What will I own, Plato?
About 1 million acres, Mike. All of the country you can see to that far ridge. Clear across the valley to those peaks. And as far north as you can see across that snow-capped ridge. I tell you, it's a big undertaking. And it'll cost you a pretty penny.
Plato, you're looking at a man who once burnt $1 million. Out there, I see 100 million. Buy it tomorrow. Sam Slade. Sam, who'd you tangle with?
Ran into Pack Indians, Black Rock Range.
Black Rock?
Yeah. Was freighting in camping outfit for Eastern fellas, prospecting.
Yeah.
Shoshones killed all of them.
Keep this quiet, or we're liable to throw the whole town into a panic.
A gun, a little bit of silver, all that's left of Sam Slade.
Little enough for a man to leave, isn't it? Come in.
Hello, Beck.
Hello.
I know it's late, but I've been in town several times today looking for you.
Oh? What's on your mind?
You know, we've been getting out a lot of ore. All of us. Mines are working at full capacity. Still, it's not enough.
I know it. Got any suggestions?
That night at Chevagy's, I told you I thought there were still untouched, undeveloped fields.
Sure. I remember. We need new fields.
Well, we're not the only ones who think so. I heard a prospecting party went out just the other day. That means other companies have the same idea. We can't let them get away from it.
Where is this country?
Black Rock Range, about a day's ride away.
That's the Shoshone Indian country, Mo.
I know.
And, you think there might be silver there?
I'm sure of it.
Of course, that's a pretty rugged country. After all, you're a married man. Your wife, she might like it.
I'm a mining engineer, McComb. Here, let me show you on the map. The range of mountains runs right along here. They have the same type of outcroppings in that range as we have here where we're getting silver right now. And I believe that if we go right in this area, we have an excellent chance of making a big strike. I want to go out there and take a few samples of the ore. If they prove to be as rich as I have every reason to believe they will, we can double our output. Good night, Beck.
Night. Good night, sweet prince. Lights of angels, sing me to thy rest.
Looks like a long drink.
It's gonna be a long night.
You silly old. Later. Still need that stuff to see you through a night?
I will, for what I want to say.
Oh. Speech, huh?
It's a good speech. A speech about the truth. I used to like the truth, Mike.
Well, we all do, don't we?
Not you. You run from it. My speech is about the human soul. You believe in the human soul?
I believe in myself.
And you're wasting your time. You know why?
All right. Why?
Because you're no good, Mike. You're no good.
The defense rests.
Did you ever read the Bible?
Not
lately.
Well, it's all written there. The whole story about a king called David. He knew what he wanted, too. A woman. A woman he saw one day bathing in a garden.
Go on.
And David desired this woman, and he lusted for her. But she was the wife of one of his captains. And he sent the captain off to the wars. And he placed him in the fore of the battle. And this captain was killed. And the king took the wife of this slain captain for his own.
And that's not all. You've forgotten something.
What?
The king loved that woman, didn't he? David loved her with an all-consuming passion. Didn't he?
That's not important.
Of course it's not important. Not to you, you cold Boston codfish. You and your sermons. You get them out of a bottle, Beck. You want to make up rules for other people to live by because you've forgotten how to live yourself. You drunken, sanctimonious hypocrite.
Don't do it, Mike. Don't send more to that short-shouldered country. Don't do it. You won't do that. Not even you. Don't do it, Mike.
All right, take it up to the cookhouse and check it in.
Hello. I want to have a little talk with you.
What about?
Oh, about your husband.
Why talk to me? My husband takes care of his own business. Besides, he's gone.
Gone. I didn't think. Georgia, it's got to be stopped.
So, I guess you've thought it over. Now you're going to change your mind. Leave Stanley alone. He knows mining. It's his business.
Look, there's something I've got to tell you. He's gone up into the Black Rock Range.
I know that.
I don't think you understand it. I just found out the Shoshones are on the warpath. You know what that means, don't you? They already killed a party of prospectors.
Shoshones?
How long ago did he leave?
At dawn this morning.
I'm going after him.
McComb, I want to go too.
Now, you better stay here. I'll take some of your men. We ought to be able to catch him. Get on your horses and follow me. Get on your horses and follow me.
We didn't get there soon enough, Georgia.
Well, King David, I see you brought the warrior home. I believe we've been too hasty in discharging our obligations to the late Mr. Moore. We've written no epitaph. Well, I'll speak one. Nature might stand to all the world and say, this was a man. A man betrayed. I don't believe I need identify the gentleman who victimized him. He was among us today, not to mourn, but to claim the rewards of his treachery.
Good morning, Mr. McCall.
Morning, Edwards. Well, what do you think of the site?
Oh, it's excellent, excellent. But, do you think a castle will blend with this landscape?
Blend? In the landscape? Look, Edwards, I don't intend to blend with any landscape. I intend to fill it.
Yes, sir.
Now, look, I want a big, magnificent house, Gothic style. I want it built in white marble. White.
But there's no marble in this part of the country.
Then get marble. And look, Edwards, on both sides of the main entrance, I want wings stretching out.
Mr. McComb, I'd like to talk this over at greater length with you. I'm still rather confused.
Hurry it up, Edwards. Goodbye.
Michael J. McComb. Mike McComb, who brags he once burned $1 million of Army payroll and ran a roulette wheel into the largest silver syndicate in the West, expanding his interests in the cattle, wheat, and lumber, is now building a castle on the desert from which to rule his growing empire. Hello, Shavigi.
Where is McComb?
Haven't you heard? Mrs. Moore is coming in on that San Francisco stage this afternoon. You'll find him down there.
Stage from San Francisco. Stage from San Francisco.
Welcome home.
It's nice to be back.
I've got my carriage here for you.
Thank you.
You look well.
Do I?
What am I talking about? That's beautiful.
Can this be the old Mike McComb?
No. You've been gone a long time. Hadn't come in today, I was coming after you. I don't want you to make any plans for a week. Every day for a week. We're the same kind of people, you and I.
Maybe that's the trouble. I'm not sure if we'd be good to each other. One minute we're fighting like wildcats. The next we're in love.
It certainly took you a long time to say that.
I never wanted to.
You just did.
It's not as simple as that.
It would be if you just stopped talking. I don't think it's going to be so difficult for us to get along.
You almost had me fooled for a minute. You know, you haven't changed a bit, Mike McComb.
Everything out there, as far as you can see, will be yours.
It's empty land.
Now, maybe. But it's not going to stay that way. One day, you mark my words, there'll be cities out there, railroads, water, things growing. A whole new world created from the Silver River. I remember you, Ken.
Me?
Sure. They'll say it was all done for the love of a woman.
But let's be honest, Mike. You were taking care of yourself long before I ever came along. I'm sure nothing in the world could have stopped you. Or can now.
I don't want to be stopped.
It isn't going to be as easy as taking those wagons away from me.
Mr. Byrne?
What's this?
An invitation to Mike McComb's house warming.
I'll go.
It ain't gonna be that warm. Everything in the house is imported from Europe. Mr. Blake, Mr. Chevigey, and one for the attorney. Don't miss this party, man. 800 cases of real champagne.
Look at this. Well, what do you expect? Very fancy, but I'm not going. I'm going to stay home, and so is my wife.
You go, gentlemen, so will your wives. King is now in his castle. This is not an invitation. It's a command. Louis, I'll trade you mine for another drink.
Yes, sir. Everything in that room's imported. Look at that plaque. We got that from Switzerland. We got some cheese from there, too. You'll get some of that later. Now, that's the front door. That's where you came in. You saw that. Now, upstairs are the bedrooms. 10 of them. One big one. And that light hanging up there. That's imported, too, all the way from Philadelphia. If we have time later, I'll take you down and show you the wine cellar. Full of imported wine, beer, and cigars. Now, you see that door and that ceiling? Mike had that taken right out of a French castle. Cost us a fortune. And here, this is the dining room in here. Wait till you see that.
Wait till you see it. We've been here for over an hour.
Yes, Mr. Porter. All this is very lovely. But where are our host and hostess?
We're terrible, keeping them all waiting.
You just say the word and I'll throw them all out.
Nothing of the kind.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Good evening. Well, good evening. Hello, Chevigey. Seen the house?
What a lovely gown, Mrs. McComb.
Thank you.
Dinner is served.
Shall we go in?
Wait up. Your kind indulgence, ladies and gentlemen. I'd merely like to say how happy I am to think that so many of our invited guests found time to grace our table. Indeed, it's not often that a man finds himself honored by the presence of so many loyal, trustworthy friends. Huh, Chevigey?
Oh, yes, to be sure.
Now, if I may, I'd like to propose a toast to the Silver Queen, Mrs. Mike McComb. Well, I seem to remember my father telling me on occasion somewhat similar to this. Be brief, be sincere, and be seated.
We're greatly indebted to Mr. and Mrs. McComb for their gracious hospitality. Much happiness to them.
Now I'll tell one.
Ha! Plato.
With a respectful bow to our beautiful hostess, I propose a toast to Mr. McComb, my old friend. Indeed, we should all honor him. His name marks our schools, our banks, and one day, maybe, our finish. Ladies and gentlemen, you're in the presence of a great man, a mighty man. Are there any takers?
Easy, Plato.
Easy is the word. Remember to say please and thank you to Mr. McComb. He likes to be thanked. Mr. McComb is offended by my conduct. He believes in the dignity of man, one man. Why should Caesar be a tyrant then? Ask Mike McComb. He knows all about tyrants. But let's look at the man. The whole man, the good and the bad. Ladies and gentlemen, this is no whole man.
Let's consider him then a serpent's egg and kill him in the shell.
Get out of here. Get out, you drunken old fool.
You're no good, Mike. You're rotten. Rotten clean through. You hear me? I'm through with you. Finish. You think you'll run the world now, but that won't last, King David.
See that he gets home all right, Pistol.
If I ever tell you the story of King David, let me tell her that story.
Shall we go into the drawing room?
I'm afraid I can't stay.
It's been a pleasure, sir.
Good night, Mr. McComb.
Good night, Mr. McComb. Good night.
Good night, Mr. McComb.
Good night, Mr. McComb. Good night.
Mike.
Lovely housewarming, wasn't it?
I hope you don't mind everyone's leaving so early.
Mind? Wonder why we bothered with him in the first place.
But Plato, I don't understand his acting like that.
Oh, it was just the liquor talking.
What do you mean about King David?
What do you mean about David? Who knows what goes through the mind of a drunk? One minute he's talking about Caesar, the next about serpent's eggs.
But it was so strange.
Forget it.
Good morning, Mr. McComb.
Morning, Mr. McComb.
Morning, Mr. McComb. Morning, Mr. McComb.
Good morning, Mr. McComb.
Morning, Mr. McComb. Well, it's about time you got back. I've been trying to get in touch with you.
Have you? Well, Mrs. and I thought we'd leave business to the rest of you for a while. The Harvard Lampoon. Very educated.
Somebody must have left it here. I've been keeping my eye on things, Mike. Did you get those reports I sent you?
I haven't been doing much reading lately. What is it, Shaver?
These will require your immediate attention, Mr. McComb. I don't know what you'll say to this, but Mr. Shavicki and the other mine owners have withdrawn their money from this bank and have arranged to transact their business in San Francisco.
San Francisco? It's a long way.
They call themselves the Western Combine.
Short and simple.
What does that mean to us, Mike?
I'm not sure. They still have to have their payrolls met in my bank. Only from now on, Shaver, I only want the payrolls of the Silver River mines met. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
That'll bring him around.
Sure. Where's Beck?
I haven't seen him. I looked in all the bars. He must have left town.
Left town? Probably out looking for a new saloon. Looks like Chevigey and the boys haven't wasted any time.
Hello, Beck. Hello, Chevigey. We learned you were in town. We'd like to talk over a little proposition. Now, since you handle a lot of McComb's business, we thought... I'm sorry, gentlemen. I have plans of my own. Besides, I'm not in sympathy with your war over silver.
It's rumored that you're going into politics, Mr. Beck.
Why did McComb move his offices out here?
We're working 24 hours a day. Got our own telegraph wire in there.
Mrs. McComb, I think you better tell your husband I can't get his price for the warehouse. He ought to settle for half.
Keep trying, Mr. Taylor. Mr. McComb never settles for half.
Mrs. McComb, I've been waiting for hours.
Well, make yourself comfortable.
What goes on here? McComb rushed me out here from Denver. Now he lets me sit here and cool my heels.
If that doesn't work, try cooling your temper.
Oh, name's Rice, Mrs. McComb. I'm from the San Francisco Telegram. They call you the Silver Queen, don't they, ma'am?
That's right.
Well, what do you think of the Silver War?
Where I come from, this is a skirmish.
Pardon me, gentlemen.
Tracy, you were the one who talked me into buying this land for $500,000, weren't you? And now when I want you to sell it for a profit, you mean to say it's not worth it?
No, it isn't, Mr.
Oh,
McComb.
what are you talking about? Tell him there's gold in it. Come on. What news?
Not so good. Looks like the bottom's dropping out. Down another 50 points.
Now listen, all of you. I don't know where Chevigny and the rest of the combine are getting their money, but they're getting it somewhere. That means I've got to match them dollar for dollar.
Mike, maybe I'm wrong, but wouldn't it be a good idea to put the properties on the market one at a time?
Well, of course, I thought that was understood. Don't make it look like I'm selling out. For instance, Tipton, whenever you sell a ranch, wait a while before you list the next one.
Those dance halls are worth something, aren't they?
Oh, no. No, I don't want to sell those. After all, that's where the ready cash is. That's something tangible.
Don't forget, that's where you started. You aren't going to sell them, are you, Mike?
Oh, Pistol just likes the girls.
I think you'd like to see me get rid of those dance halls, wouldn't you? All right, sell them, Tracy. Now, you all understand the plans, do you?
Home, a message from the East.
Eastern Syndicate lends support to Smash McComb. Ah. So that's where they're getting their money, is it? Gentlemen, disregard everything I said. I want every penny of cash you can lay your hands on. Do you get it? Sell everything.
Oh, my God. Mr. McComb.
I said everything. You heard me, didn't you? All right, gentlemen. Be kind enough to get out of here. I got business.
Mike, there are newspaper reporters out there from all over the country. They've been waiting for hours. Maybe you'd better see them now.
Oh, let them wait. Well, I never did like things that came easy, but this time it looks they're going to give us a run for the money.
I know.
But we'll give them as good as we get.
Better? I'm glad you said we, Mike.
Why, you don't think I'd forgotten you, do you? Georgia, I'd be no good without you anymore.
Are we going to beat them?
You bet we will. I've already forced some of their mines to close down, and before I'm through, I'll close every mine in this territory.
You said this was between you and Chevigny. But when you start talking about closing the mines, I just don't understand.
Mr. McComb, a reply from Thompson in San Francisco.
Read it.
Urgently need $300,000 cash.
Well, boys, how do you like it since McComb shut down the mine?
Talking ain't gonna open them up again, Sweeney.
If I was in your shoes, I'd go and have a talk with McComb.
Well, you ain't in our shoes. We haven't even got 15 cents to buy a drink with.
You stick with me, and I'll buy you all the drinks you want. Where'd you get all the pay dirt, Sweeney? I got the right kind of friends. And I don't mean him. I'll vote for him if he can open up the mines again. Why don't you get smart? Beck used to work for McComb. He probably still does.
I'll take these to my office. Pick me up around 8 o'clock. Yes, sir.
Oh, boy. Plato! Plato Beck!
Hello, Georgia.
We've missed you.
Well, I haven't been far from the sound of Mike's name. They're talking about him all over the state.
I hope you haven't been listening to the wrong side in your campaigning.
Georgia, I've got to listen. That's my business from now on. Listening for the truth.
Why don't you come out the house? I know Mike would love to see you.
I've been meaning to call, only...
That's all been forgotten.
Good. I'd love to talk to Mike. You see, he's part of my campaign.
Oh?
What have I been telling you? What do you think Beck's doing in that buggy with Mrs. McComb? Come on. Get wise to yourself. Take a look at this. The Silver Queen herself. Let's have 3 cheers for Beck and the Silver Queen, the former Mrs. Moore.
Shut up, you idiot.
What's the matter, Beck? You know all about it. Everybody knows about it except Stanley Moore, and he's dead. King David killed him. King David McComb.
Get out of my way.
The prodigal returns.
Plato. I'm glad to see you. I knew you'd come back sooner or later, you old reprobate. Here, let me have your hat. George, let's get him a drink.
No, thanks. Remember I told you once, Mike, a man should have roots? Well, mine are here.
Yes, but town's not the same, Plato.
Towns should never stay the same, Mike. They should change, get better. This one can, with your help.
Same old Beck. Except I never heard you preach sober.
I'm not preaching, Mike. I'm running for senator.
Senator?
Mm-hmm.
Well. Senator Beck, eh? What's your platform going to be? Decline and fall of the Roman Empire or what?
No. Decline and fall of the Silver Empire. As a matter of fact, Mike, I've been talking about you.
Have you? Thanks for the boost.
I'm not sure you'll like what I've been saying.
I'm not so sure either. You've gone over to the Western Combine, haven't you?
No. You've got it all wrong, Mike. It's the people. The people against the Western Combine, too. Funny thing about voters, they don't like to be caught in a private war. Yours or anybody else's.
Ah, you make me sick. Senator Beck, huh? Georgia, I seem to remember dragging the senator out of a gutter once. Or was it a barroom floor? Buying him his whiskey. Putting a clean shirt on his back when he didn't even have one. And now he's come to pass judgment on us. Look, Beck, you go back and tell your voters this. I made Silver City and I can break it. Sooner or later, you and all the rest of them will come crying to me like a pack of dogs.
I'm sorry, Mike.
Ah, you're always sorry.
I'm sorry for you this time. I'm going to win this fight. And when I do, I'll wipe you and the Western Combine off the map. This country has a chance to grow, and I'm going to see that it gets that chance.
Beck, you're still a sanctimonious old hypocrite.
Goodbye, Georgie. If you'll need me, you'll find me in town.
I'll see you to the door.
Georgia. Georgia. What's the matter with you?
Plato said he was sorry for you. I'm sorry for both of us.
That needs a little clearing up. Like most of Plato's parables, it doesn't seem to make much sense.
He was right, Mike. In town, the people are desperate. It's like a graveyard.
Then I hope they rest in peace. That's their funeral.
You can't mean that.
But I do mean it. I've got to mean it, even if you don't like it. You almost sound as if you want me to quit in the middle of a fight.
I don't want you to fight me.
But, Georgie, you're my wife.
Yes. But I think you've forgotten. I'm a fighter, too. You don't even understand what I'm trying to say, do you?
I think I do. It seems to me that the babblings of a reformed drunk have turned even you against me.
That drunk was your friend once.
Friend? I expect nothing from friends. But I did think I could count on the loyalty of my wife.
I was reminded you took another man's.
Now we get to it. Beck told you.
I didn't hear it from Beck. Banjo Sweeney was in town.
Sweeney?
I never wanted to blame you for Stanley's death. I wanted to believe you did everything you could to stop him. I knew what people were saying, but I loved you. So I believed in you.
Now you don't. Is that it?
I thought you'd change, Mike. But you haven't.
Change? Why should I change? I never pretended to be anything different than what I am. And you always knew what I was at.
But I didn't know how you intended getting it. Mike, call off this fight, please. Let's start again.
Call it off? I'll never call it off, George. Never.
But I can't stay and watch it. I'm leaving you.
Banjo, Sweeney?
No, I ain't.
Where's Sweeney?
Not here. He's gone to San Francisco.
Liar.
There's a run on the bank. We're through.
What are you talking about? Get Carson City. Tell them to send us $200,000.
There isn't any bank at Carson City.
It didn't open today, Mr. McComb.
Then get Leadville.
It's closed, too.
Get out of here. Get out or I'll blow you out.
Put up that gun, pistol. Schaefer, pay off all those people.
But, Mr. McComb, I'm not sure we have enough money to.
If you do, you're bankrupt.
Pay them off. Give them everything we got.
All right. Quiet down. We'll get your money. Quiet down, everybody.
Georgia. Get your hands off of that.
Everything goes, McComb.
That picture stays. Unless you want to go out of here feet first.
Come on, Jim, Terry. Let's get this other stuff.
They sure cleaned the place out, didn't they, Mike?
Sure did. Like it that way. More room.
Look, Mike, I haven't got big money, but I got a few dollars. It's yours.
I was just thinking of the time we burnt $1 million, remember?
I sure do.
Seen a lot of changes since then, haven't we?
Yeah. You know, Chevy and the boys are back in town. They're running some windbag against Beck.
Are they? That's very interesting. You didn't come here to talk politics, though. What's on your mind, boy?
Oh, nothing. I just thought you'd like to know I saw Georgia. You know, Beck is making a speech today at the Silver River Mine. George is working with him.
Is she? She looks well, I hope?
She looks great.
Good.
She's going to be on hand today for the big rally. Why don't you come out, Mike?
I'm not interested in politics.
I thought you'd like to know. Well, I guess I better be going. Look, Mike, why don't you two get together? Maybe you can straighten this thing out. Of course, it's none of my business.
That's right. It's none of your business.
Our opposition just passed by. John Plato Beck. And Mrs. McComb was with him. What's she doing with Beck? Maybe McComb is in this.
You don't have to worry about McComb. He's washed up.
Mr. Sweeney's right, gentlemen. The only person we have to worry about is Beck.
The voters know where to place their confidence, and that's in Everest T. Walker.
Well, if we want to get back in the silver business, you better be right. The President's Commission will certainly take the recommendation of our new senator.
Naturally.
But I think you fellas are just making a lot of talk. Plato Beck hasn't got a chance.
You're sure of that, Mr. Sweeney?
As sure as shooting, Mr. Chevigee. Understand? You can take my word for it.
I see some very fine old bourbon.
Winding up my campaign at Silver River because it's here that the nation looks for economic support. We have pledged ourselves to the government, but there are those among us who have broken that pledge. And it is our responsibility to expose them.
Right.
I propose to call them by name.
All right, boys, break it up.
Keep your places.
Shut up.
We're going right on with this meeting.
Shut up, Beck.
These men are here to intimidate us. Let me walk. Doctor, wait.
They didn't want me to talk either. I had important things to say, Mike. I wanted to make my peace with you. Funny thing, Mike. My speech was going to be about you. George, you tell him you know what I want to say.
I'll tell you what he told me. In every age, every country, a few leaders are born. Not many, just enough to keep things going. You were that kind of man, Mike. He'd always hoped you'd find out. But you built an empire just for yourself. Then you destroyed it. Plato was trying to pick up the pieces, fit them together again. There's no one left to do that now but you.
Plato Beck's dead. What are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do about it, McComb? Speak his epitaph?
No, I don't have any words that would do him justice. I just keep thinking that the men who killed him are celebrating right now in Silver City. That something's got to be done. So who feels like doing it?
We've lost everything as it is. Now McComb wants to take us into town and get our skin full of lead.
So you're going to let him go alone? What a bunch of yellow-bellied skunks you are. Get in those wagons and go with him.
Take your men in from the other side. Cover every street out of town.
Tear that sign down, take it out of town, and burn it.
All right, you men disperse. Come in from the east.
McComb's coming into town. He's got all the miners with him.
Get on your horses and let's get out of here.
like to see him strung up as much as you would. But don't let's have a lynching.
That's what we came here for.
I know it. Beck wanted to make your speech today, didn't he? He never finished it. He wanted to tell you who was responsible for most of your troubles. I can tell you that. Me. I can remember, right in this town, pledging to the President of the United States himself that we here in Silver City would keep the Silver River flowing. We didn't do it. But it's not too late to make a new beginning. First, we'll open up the mines, and this time we'll keep them open. Pretty soon you're going to see important changes around here. Big changes. These men are going to get what's coming to them, I promise you. But don't let's do it by mob violence. We've all had enough of that, haven't we?
Let's open the mine.
We want to go back to work.
All right, McComb, we'll bring him up according to law.
Take him and lock him up. We'll give him a fair hearing.
I'm proud of you, Mike. What's the matter?
I was just thinking what a wonderful chance I had to shoot Banjo Sweeney in the back. And I passed it up.
You haven't changed a bit, Mike McComb.